General election tomorrow, Al. Are you excited? How excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm excited, a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10, I'm exactly the same.
I will be voting around the corner at St Mary's Church Hall in W14, exercising my democratic right.
Right.
I'm not that excited about it, if I'm honest.
No, I couldn't be less excited. So if we have any politics fans out there, you probably switch off and listen to the news or something instead. But the innovation element of the election is really exciting because do you remember Voter? Well, you brought it in,
Indeed.
didn't you? VOTR. If you want to follow them on Twitter, it's @_VOTR. And it's brilliant. So this is just two kids, I think 15 and 17 respectively, came up with a voting app to help you decide who to vote for. So what you do is you put in your postcode and it would pull in tweets from the politicians in your local constituency but anonymise them, and then you would flick through them left or right in a Tinder style, and then if you do it over a certain amount of time it would then feed back and tell you who you should vote on based on which tweets you agreed with. Totally brilliant. Like a couple of young lads, combined age of like 27 or something like that, or 37.
Sickeningly.
But how many downloads do you think they've had on Android and iOS?
5,000.
1.8 thousand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's good, but there wouldn't be any marketing budget behind that as well.
No,
so.
sure. What I love about these two chaps is that they've basically removed the personality from it. So by obfuscating the name of the politician, it was totally about the content of the tweets. So yeah, I was a big fan. I downloaded, used it. It was great. Really good.
And what did it come back with?
I couldn't possibly say, Tom. You kip.
And in other news, because we're a massively current show, is the royal baby.
Indeed, yes.
Am
I excited about that? Well, having new twin daughters, I'm excited. A lot of big names to live up to there. And I'm not sure exactly why they went with the female form of Charles as a starter.
Oh, yeah.
But
interesting.
A bit odd. But yeah, Charlotte, then Elizabeth, and then Diana. So, I mean, they're loaded. Talk about a weight of expectation.
So neither of us are interested in the royal baby or the election. Let's kick off with the Innovation Ramble.
Hi, and welcome to the Innovation Ramble. It's our weekly podcast where Tom and I meet up and share the stuff that's inspired us over the last 7 days.
Yeah, as ever, we're recording in CSC Champagne Bar. Al and I actually sat out by the platform in the sunlight beaming through the glass roof. It was actually beautiful and incredible, so please come down and have the incredible granola from Peter and Darius and the guys.
Yeah, and if you hear some horns in the background, that's probably the Eurostar pulling in from Paris-Gare du Nord, 2 hours 22 minutes from Paris. That's the European bullet. If you're listening there at the Eurostar marketing team, get in touch. We'd love to record one of our shows on board one of your lovely trains.
Still haven't been in touch. So this week I've got the Internet of Things, a really clever idea. We're going to look at home automation and also the exciting, ever debated world of fire extinguishers.
I've got Nesta's latest labs event coming up in July. Alarm clocks even, and a next generation makeup.
Cool. So first off is an app called Gum, and what Gum does is a social network of things. So it's interesting. So you've got that technology that can scan barcodes. Well, what they've done is try to create a social network around barcodes. So if you buy a can of beans, for example, you scan that barcode and then you can write comments on it. So, this is totally ridiculous, or this is the best product ever. And then when someone else scans that barcode using the Gum app, then they will see your comments. So it's almost like a conversation and a social network and a community that would center around different products. So wherever you go, you get this social network of things. Really simple idea. And I've been chatting to those guys on Twitter. So I will be tweeting them afterwards and having a bit of a chat with them. So check us out on our handle, which is at Innovramble, INNOVRAMBLE. So a cool little integration of the Internet of Things and social media.
They are, really interesting. Kind of the first of their kind, I think, to do that. Tom, met them a couple times. They've got a really interesting product, and so many different applications of that. Really, really very interesting. So next up, I'm going to comment on a tweet that's come in from at Missiona Ellis.
Yeah, we love the listener tweets. Keep them
We
coming
do,
in. We love
yeah.
them by Christina Lai.
They're coming in thick and fast now, so get them in. And Missiona Ellis tweets in about Moda Makeup, digital makeup artists that are enabling ladies, and I guess men too, to look like celebrities in just 30 seconds. So the Moda personalizes and applies makeup using facial scanning and then 3D printing technology. Well, sounds a little bit crazy, but basically it allows a digital makeup artist to create a custom look based on a celebrity on your face in super quick time. So it uses an integrated smartphone app through which you take a photo of your face. You then pick a style that you'd like, so Cheryl Cole, Beyonce, as they're looking this week. And then you can, if you'd like, you can go through the app's huge library of makeup looks. And then there's facial scanning technology in the app, delivered by or provided by the Swedish brand Foreo, that kind of customizes it. It kind of analyzes your face, looks at your skin tone and your contours, comes up with the perfect mapping, and then you put your face into this device, this Moda device, and it then 3D prints safe makeup. It 3D prints the makeup onto your face, which all sounds like very crazy. The makeup's all an FDA approved ink in the US. Apparently it's long lasting.
Yeah, it's very important.
Very important. Apparently it's hypoallergenic, which makes it suitable for sensitive skin. And apparently it can recreate red carpet looks in just 30 seconds. So it's no longer, Tom, will you need to spend hours getting ready for that big night, that big events award evening where you'd be picking up a big gong. It's just seconds. Moda's not available in the shops just yet. Apparently it's going to be launched by invitation only. And it's really taking on transforming the beauty industry. So there have been a few similar products in this area recently, but nothing that's gone this far. I haven't seen it actually in action yet, Tom, and I'm not sure how comfortable I'd be about letting something spray makeup onto my face, but really, really exciting story.
That's fascinating. I wish I could remember the name, but there was a design festival, or it might have even been CES, where they had exactly the same concept, and they had these videos of women putting their face into like this hole, and then what happened to like a sort of paintbrush would come out and then slap paint it across their face really badly and like really misapply makeup, and it was a joke really, the idea that this couldn't be done. And so when this was tweeted in, I was like, this has got to be an April Fool's. It sounds so, like I've never worn makeup, I don't think. But you watch it being applied, there's several layers and different thicknesses of brushes and like sponges and all this. But to 3D print it onto the face, I'm massively sceptical about it. But I think, is that going to save time? Is that going to make makeup better? What's the benefit? You're looking at me really blankly now.
I'm a little bit sceptical myself. Excited to see it really in action. And I can understand as well that I'm excited to see it in action.
On a scale of 1 to 10, if you're 3,
3D printed makeup. If 3's on the election, this is a 9.5, Tom, right. Unquestionably. Obviously it's a fairly large project, a vanity project. However, if this can revolutionise young ladies, getting ready, emulating their heroes, then could be a good thing.
So talking about young ladies, I saw this brilliant news item. It's getting on a bit, but I tried to mention it last week, couldn't get it in. But there's a dad who was worried about his daughter walking to school. So what he did is just followed her with a drone.
Yeah, I saw this
so
one.
Funny. But then she complained and got him to stop after it got like global coverage. I love it. And every week now I see some new working of drones, but following your kids to school. And he said a little video of the girl, like brilliant. And now she can get her makeup done. Anyway, that was my horrendous link. So what we've got next? All right, so this is another one for at home. This is a book, not a massive innovation.
Ebook.
I'm sure it is an ebook available on various Kindle type devices. It's a home automation for dummies. And they quote unquote, so it gives you plain English step-by-step instructions for techifying your home without breaking a sweat. Like, how ridiculous is that now? Like, there's people walking around going, "Oh, this home automation is so complicated. If only there was a book to really simplify this and make it easy for me." And there it is, home automation for dummies. And then I saw this brilliant thing yesterday. Was a Canadian guy. You know what Philips Hue light bulbs are? Like smart light bulbs that you can
wake you up early in the morning.
Yeah, but you can, say for example, you could link. You had a smart kettle. When it was boiled, you could turn all the light bulbs in your house red. For example, if the doorbell knocks, you could make all the light bulbs go green. Or if it was raining outside, or if there was a traffic jam, you basically you can get it to go a certain colour based on the input. So you change the input, like be whatever, your car, your watch, your phone, your kettle, whatever, it produces a different colour. So what this guy's done is he's hooked it up to a microphone. So when his team, the Montreal Canadiens, score a goal, the microphone can pick up the noise, but also the tune that gets played when the goal gets scored. Okay. So then when they score a goal in the ice hockey match, all the room goes all different colours, and then on this hi-fi he plays their theme song, whatever it is, and so he can jump around the room. So it's totally amazing. His house knows when his team scored a goal, and it all goes off, and the video's absolutely incredible. So I love that. People pimping their home to do kind of cool stuff. I mean, there was the Sharknado film. You probably saw. They did a thing with Philips Hue light bulbs. So when the scene got intense, the whole room would light up red and stuff. So that's if you're desperate for something to read this weekend, that's Home Automation for Dummies, available at all good Kindle stores near you.
And is that part of the For Dummies series?
It is.
Kind of yellow
Home
books.
Automation for Dummies.
Yeah, I've bought some of those. It's like, what's next is like nuclear physics for dummies, brain surgery. It feels like they've got this niche in the market, but the topics just seem to get more and more complicated.
It's the innovation that keeps on innovating on.
Oh, that's beautiful, Tom.
So how about, have you got any events coming up?
In terms of keeping innovation going, that is what my event of the week is looking to do. So Nesta, our friends, the innovation charity, they're running LabWorks 2015 in July. That's the 9th of July, all-day session. And it's a global gathering in London aimed at focusing on public service innovation. So it's now in its 4th year, the LabWorks, and it's about bringing people together to work inside and alongside government on society's biggest challenges. So they're bringing innovators, public innovators from across the world, from behavioural economists through to data scientists, with the core aim of inspiring each other with a new sense of basically what's possible in public service innovation. So lots of stories, lots of inspiration, practical knowledge of tools and skills are going to be shared. So not just the inspiration that we hope to bring every week on the podcast, but also the how. How are people doing it? What the success is. So if you're working in public innovation, you're interested in labs, then don't miss out on this opportunity. If you go to nesta.org.uk, you can get more details, and that's their LabWorks 9th of July, so plenty of time to register.
Are you going to enter that? You and the girls?
We'll see. I've got a fairly hectic innovation agenda in July. We'll see if public sector rises to the top.
Yeah, brilliant. We're a big fan of what Nesta do. You should definitely subscribe to their email. I think it's a weekly email about innovation. It's probably the best content on the subject that comes out every week. So next one for me is putting out fires. That's always a bit of a hassle, isn't it?
Well, I tend to find in the innovation space, Tom, I tend to light more and leave other people to put them out.
So anyway...
You've recovered, have you, from that?
I've just recovered. It was good, though. So there's 2 engineering students have invented a device that extinguishes fire with, guess what?
Air? An app, a smartphone app, a wearable device.
That's it. A drone. No. You were there with your first guess. It extinguishes fire with sound.
Oh, hello.
I'll explain how it works. Yeah. So what it does is it's essentially a speaker that hits the fire with low frequency sound waves in the 30 to 60 hertz range, so very low. And what the sound waves do is separate the oxygen from the fuel. The pressure wave is going back and forth, and it agitates where the air is, and the specific space is enough to keep the fire from reigniting. And that's a quote from Tran, the inventor. I think it's MIT. It's just incredible. Like, it's just like a bass bin essentially that you point at a sound. And it's the video's hilarious. Is these two obviously kind of geeky looking guys, and they set a frying pan on fire and then point a speaker at it, and the sound goes out. It's just tremendous.
Love it. So I guess next time that I'm out on a big clubbing night somewhere around 2038, no chance of the place going up in flames.
Well, that's it. Yeah. So putting out fires with sound waves.
And was that inventor's name Tran?
Yeah, I may have deleted some of the vital information there, but Tran, thank you.
Agile, Tom. Agile, on the fly, keeping it real. That's making me feel much more comfortable about, out giving it large when there's bass happening. Will there be much bass when you're retaking to the stage this weekend?
Oh, no, it's a ukulele gig. I'll be the top end frequencies only, I'm afraid.
I'll bring my fire blanket. And so on to a interesting innovation called Wakey. That's spelt Wake with a line across the top. I'm not sure what that is. It's like a flat umlaut. Anyway, it's pronounced Wakey. It's from Lucera Labs. That's at LUCERALABS. Lucera Apps. Wakey alarm uses targeted light and sound to leave your partner in peace. So when was the last time, Tom, when your lady, you got up very early to do a podcast and disturbed you?
It was this morning. It drives her absolutely mental. I promised I wasn't going to mention her in the show this week. That's the thing I've done for the last 2 months. But she's like, "You're not recording that podcast again, are you?" I'm like, "Yes." So if I had something that could just wake me up and not her, would be absolutely brilliant.
Well, this could be the answer to your troubles. So actually, it's not the first time we've seen this. Philips first awoke to the benefits of replicating a sunrise in the bedroom in 2006, and we've seen a surge of sunrise imitating sleep masks and other ways to ease you into the day. But Wakey is a brick-sized white box that you attach to the wall above your bed, and it's equipped with an infrared sensor and some rather interesting sort of sound pointing devices. It's a parametric speaker that's used to deliver sounds down a kind of narrow focus of ultrasonic waves, and it's enough to spare the person next to you from noisy disturbances. So what happens is you set the alarm as normal. It's got a rechargeable battery that you have to top up every now and again. Use your smartphone to set which side of the bed you sleep on, what time you want to be woken up, and then it will point a beam of light to emulate the sun, to warm you up and gently awaken you, and then the sound, your tunes, Jimi Hendrix is played down this parametric speaker tube to wake you up.
It's Jimi Hendrix, your alarm clock, isn't it? Like
all along the watchtower. Yeah, it's 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and the guitar solo just goes. It's inspirational.
Talking of all along the watchtower, Jimi Hendrix heard the Bob Dylan original, and then that night went into the studio with the Experience to record that version. The same day he heard it, he recorded the seminal version. Because Jimi Hendrix was a guitar innovator. That's why I'm allowed to talk about
He was indeed. That's amazing that he moved that quickly. Yeah. Just shows when things are fresh. So, and then once I've woken up, we're back to Wakey. Once I've woken up and left the room, then the brick actually swivels, picks up the heat signature of my wife. If she moves around in the bed, then it tracks her. It doesn't have a camera on it. It's just a heat sensor. Don't worry about that. And then again, wakes her up at the allotted time. But the ability to just be woken on your side of the bed, I think, could save a lot of marriages, Tom.
Yeah, could potentially save this podcast. Well, I saw this on one of Kickstarter, but it's like $150 or something.
$249.
Wow, there's no promises with that $249, is there? Anyway, brilliant. Someone can just send us one to try out, and they'll send us out to all 27 of our Twitter followers. You know.
Yeah, I mean maybe one each. I don't want to share one with you. I'm up for test and learn, but
Okay.
there are some limits to what I do for an extra 100,000 followers.
Well, an extra.
Okay, 100 followers.
So that's it for the Innovation Ramble this week. As ever, thanks to the brilliant Lucky Elephant for supplying our theme tune music. Go to iTunes, check out both their excellent albums. Thanks to CSC Champagne Bar for accommodating us, Matt for our logo design, and James Harrison for our lovely photographs he took of us last week. You can now see what Al and I look like on a sort of good day on our Twitter page and our website that's going to be launched maybe this week. Who knows? And you got any quotes, Al?
Yes, I have one of my favourites, Henry David Thoreau quote. Innovation's about moving forward, Tom, and I love these words from Henry David Thoreau. Never look back unless that's the way you're planning to go.
Whoa, that's a banger. So we should do a Innovation Ramble book of innovative quotes. You know, one of those little £1 books you get. Your face
We've probably got enough already.
So mine is from Clayton Christensen, who is a Harvard Business School professor.
Yep. Recognise the name?
You do?
Yeah,
Okay,
recognise the name.
His quote is, "Innovation almost always is not successful the first time out. You try something and it doesn't work, and it takes confidence to say, we haven't failed yet. Ultimately, you become commercially successful." Okay, so that didn't make any sense at the end, but the first bit does. I just have had a terrible time with word processing this week. Innovation almost always is not successful the first time out, much like me reading this quote. So let's leave it there. We will see you next week. See you later on.
Indeed. Cheers. Thanks. Bye.